What is going on, guys? Hope you guys are having an amazing day. So today we've got a few different things planned. First, I think I'm going to return these side skirts that I bought from eBay and ended up being pieces of shit. So I'm going to go ahead and take those to the UPS store and get them shipped off. Then I think I'm going to go ahead and turn the Eclipse around in the shop again so we can start getting it all taped up and ready to start on some real body work. First things first, I got to find a way to fit the skirts in my car. It's gonna be a little dicey, but we'll see. So it's just starting to rain and the skirts don't fit in my car at all. So I'm gonna try to hang them out the window. Luckily, the UPS store is only like 2 minutes away that way. So it hopefully shouldn't get too wet by the time we get there, but we'll see. Alright, so it's a little sketchy, and if it wasn't such a close drive, probably wouldn't do it. But that should work, right? I don't know. Let's get on the road. This shit is fucking hilarious. Well, it's starting to rain a little bit more. But we're fucking good, boys. We're fucking good. Here we are. Alright, so the side skirts are officially shipped off. Hopefully I'll get my money back for them soon. Then I should be able to buy the real ones and install them on the car. But for now, let's get back to the shop and start working on the Eclipse. So as you guys just saw, I got the Eclipse put in sideways into the garage again, which means that we are going to be working on it again. So the goal for today, since all of the windows have been taken out of it, I think I'm going to start out by cleaning all of the places that the windows were sitting, because there is a lot of gunk and stuff that accumulated over the years that I wouldn't have been able to clean without taking the windows out. I'll go ahead and clean that off. I'm going to mask all the holes to make sure I don't get a bunch of dust in there. So my goal for the video today is to get pretty much all of the body work done on the quarter panels and the hatch. So pretty much everything from the doors back, I want to have completely straight, completely smooth today, and pretty much ready for primer at that point. And then I think later on this week, I'm going to work on getting the doors all fixed up. There are a few minor imperfections all the way down the doors. Not really a huge deal, but I want to make sure that when I do paint it, it comes out perfectly smooth and not all wavy. So I'm going to be addressing that. I'll have to mount the side skirts, get this bumper all the way sanded down and ready for primer. We got a lot of stuff to do. So without further ado, let's get into actually working on it. Right, so I started by vacuuming out all of the channels where all the windows were. You can see this is after the vacuum. It's still pretty dirty. I'll show you this side. You can see pretty good little before and after right there. That side's all dirty as shit. This side's nice and clean. This entire quarter window section is nice and clean. I used some degreaser and a rag and just wiped it down. So that'll be nice. I'm gonna go ahead and get all this urethane off after. But first I gotta finish cleaning this side and masking it off, and then we'll get to work on the real stuff. Alright, so during the process of cleaning, I found one spot that I literally never would have been able to clean without the window out. Look at that. Look at all that schmoo in there. Look at all that shit. Look at all that shit. I'm getting that out of there. Yeah, that's way better. So, as you guys can see, the way that I'm masking this is I'm taking the inside of all of the edges and then using plastic to put over that and just cutting it to shape. It's actually pretty nice and pretty easy to do it this way. So I just fucking get some tape going on the sides of it. Alright, so once that tape's there, I'm just going to grab my plastic sheeting, grab a piece that'll fit over it, just tack it down, and then stretch it out so it's nice and taut. Now we can go ahead and cut it. I usually cut like right in the middle of the tape. And I'm only really scoring the plastic at this point. But that'll come off clean like that. Now I'll just go ahead and finish taping it on top, making sure to sandwich the plastic between the two layers of tape. Just like that, our window's masked. So I think that the first thing I'm going to get to is trying to take all of this excess urethane off. Pretty much just going to use an angle grinder with probably like a Scotch-Brite wheel on it, just to wear that all through and try not to get too deep into the paint or like really get into the metal. It doesn't really matter if I scuff paint up at all because that's all going to be worked out. But yeah, so I'm going to get my angle grinder out and let's get some urethane off. So I'm going to start out with a bristle disc, see if this works. If it doesn't, I'll move on to something a little more aggressive. That's nice. So I found out that not only is the finger disc amazing at taking the urethane off, it's also super good at taking all of the surface rust off. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this with the finger disc and try to get that all clean. So I got pretty much the entire hatch sanded up at this point. I made sure that there was no rust on it, and the whole quarter panel is cleaned up. Cleaned it all with wax and grease remover. Now it's time to hit it with some body filler to make sure it's all nice and flat, and then we'll get to sanding once it's all dry. Now of course, once again, I'm gonna use my 3M board to mix it on. Things are really nice. They got a bunch of layers of paper. Pretty much anytime you use one, you can just peel it and get a new surface on it. I'll leave a link in the description for these. They're real nice. And this time I'm actually going to use a paint stir stick to get the body filler out. Last time you guys were making fun of me for using my screwdriver, and I went to Home Depot and figured out that they literally just give these out for free. Like, I asked the dude for a bunch and he's like, dude, how many do you want? I was like, I don't know, like 10. And he's like, here, and he grabs me a fat fucking handful of them. I was like, shit, yeah, dog. But yeah, so I'm gonna get this all mixed and we'll get it on the car. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty nice. Alright, I'm gonna let all that body filler dry. I'll probably come back in the morning, start sanding. It is currently the next day. Our body filler is completely dry. Time for some sanding. Got 80 grit on the block. Pretty much every product that I'm gonna be using in this video is gonna be linked down in the description, so if you're looking for it, it's down there. This shit sucks ass. So I got pretty much everything sanded out of all of the body filler that I used last time. I'm sweaty, my hair's all fucked up. I'm fucking tired of shit. But we're not done yet. Today, I think I'm gonna add some more filler to a couple other problems areas that I found, just outside of the parts that I already filled. So then tomorrow we can come back and sand those places. But so far, you guys can see all of the spots that we hit with the body filler last night are sanded and they are perfectly smooth. Like, it's amazing. Tomorrow we should come back and sand it and pretty much be done with the entire rear end, which is crazy. That's a huge thing that's gonna be chucked off of the list, and I'm stoked for that because that means that we're one step closer to paint. All I care about is getting this thing to paint, because once it's in paint, once I paint it, this thing is done. Like, I mean, it's not done. It's going to be a lot bigger of a project than what even the windshield showed. This section is like the main section of shit that I'm learning how to do during the process of doing it, which is a little daunting, but it's fun, it's cool. Like, I feel like this is going to be so rewarding seeing this thing finally painted. However, once we finish the paint, I can release my inhibitions and really start modding this thing, because this thing is it's gonna be a monster. I told you guys it's gonna be a monster. It's gonna be a monster. All right. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna turbo it. I might turbo it. I know that I missed last Friday's video. A lot of shit's been going on, and honestly, this is so much work, and honestly kind of boring work. I don't know if it's something that you guys really want to watch me do a shit ton of, because this is probably taking me 7 hours to do. It's ridiculous. But soon we should be getting the new side skirts for the IS, so I will be doing some of that stuff a little later. As you guys can see, we still have plenty of work to do on this thing. I'm going to skim the doors, get the roof all sanded down, get the hood all sanded down, all of the front end completely prepped. Painting, motherfuckers! I'm stoked. I'm stoked. I don't know what to say. I'm fucking stoked. But, I think I'm gonna mix up some body filler, get it laid down, get some fucking sleep, man. I'm fucking tired. Bada boom! Alright, so it's official. I pretty much got all of the body filler on the rear end of the car that I need, hopefully. We will see tomorrow once I sand it all down and make sure that there's no more like imperfections. But as you guys can see, I did a little skim coat over here, a little bit over here. Over here, this is where the original spoiler was. So right here, you can see these are where the spoiler holes were welded shut. Same with here and right here. So I just got to make sure that those are flat tomorrow once this all dries, and I should pretty much have a completely straight rear end, and I'm so stoked about it. Tomorrow should be the last day of sanding on this half of the car, not including that bumper. I'm not stoked about that fucking bumper. That thing is so much work, but we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it all done. It's gonna be awesome. So next time you see me, it'll be tomorrow, and we'll get to sanding some more. Alright guys, so finished the second round of sanding on this thing and it's looking super good. You can see all these spots pretty much everywhere that I got body filler on. Sanded down nice and smooth. It is very, 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 very close to being perfect, pretty much. So at this point, all that I have left is to pretty much give the entire rear section just a fine sand with probably like I don't know, like 220 and then 320 and get it ready for an actual primer. But with that being said, we got a lot of stuff done this episode. I'm super stoked about it. That's so much work that I needed to do and just have been kind of avoiding with other little projects. But I'm finally getting somewhere. I'm stoked about it. So if you guys like the content, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm so fucking dirty. I hate working on cars, dude. I hate it. Get all of the window holes Go ahead and get all of the window holes Get all the window holes Fucking shit, I can't say that.